Look how big Splash is compared to the tunnel. Like, I don't even know if he could go in there.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It is 8:50 a.m. Here's Splash and Simba. They're waiting for their breakfast, but I'm still getting ready for my day. Splash is chewing on some of this cat grass. And Simba had some of the leftover canned food from overnight this morning. So what happened was last night I noticed there were some ants coming in the front door. So I put another ant bait there to try to, kill off the trail of ants. I cleaned up what I could, and then any leftover food, there was a little bit of leftover canned food from their snack last night. I put it in the kitchen. And I said to myself, I don't think Simba's gonna walk in the kitchen and eat it overnight, because sometimes he just avoids the area because of the Lucky 7 downstairs. So I happened to wake up at 5 a.m. and I was like, let me check on the food. And sure enough, he did not eat it. But I brought it here into the living room and I put it on the play rug. And then he ate like half of it. So that was his snack, because I did not put food in these automatic feeders last night. I haven't done that for the past 2 nights. And the only crunchies they got last night were in their toys, in their little mouse toys. They got 1 tablespoon in their little mouse toys. And then with Splash, because he had not eaten like half of his breakfast yesterday, I gave him another tablespoon in the crunchies. And we're trying the new Origin Senior Crunchies for older cats. So we'll see how those do. Now, I weighed Simba this morning. He has not lost any weight. And also Splash was sitting on the scale this morning. And I said, I wonder if I could sneak over there, turn the scale on, and then when he gets off, I'll be able to see how much he weighs. So that's what I did. Now, just the other day, I was looking at Splash and I was thinking to myself, he is such a big cat. I've always said that Splash is the biggest cat in the house. Like, he's just physically a large cat. Ringo is probably as large as Splash, if not a little bit smaller. And I know it's hard to tell on these videos, but Splash is such a large cat. And when he jumped off of the scale today, at first I thought the weight included the cat tower, but then I was like, no, this is how much Splash weighs. Splash weighs 21 pounds and 9 ounces. He's a big cat. Now, does Splash need to lose some weight? Yes. So he's been eating what Simba's been eating on the reducing diet. Sometimes I will give Splash a little bit more food, not a lot, just a little bit more food, because he is a bigger cat than Simba is. At least now I have a starting weight for him, because I don't know where he started a few weeks ago. And if he'll sit on that cat tower occasionally, and I could put it on, and then he jumps off and I could get his weight that way, then that's good, because then I could monitor him also. Right, Splash? Here's Simba. Hey, Simba. It's 9:15 a.m. and here's Splash. And I've been in my room getting ready for my day while he and Simba have been eating their breakfast. And they ate only a little bit of their breakfast, and then I was like, okay, I'll put some freeze-dried chicken on it and see if you want to finish it. So I'm in my bedroom, and all of a sudden Splash comes in, and he looks at me. He's all happy. And I said to him, oh, did you finish your breakfast? Because the way he came up to me was exactly how Boo used to come up to me. So Boo used to do this thing where, when the cats were eating, if anyone was having a problem, he would find me and he'd come up to me, and he'd have a certain look about him. Come on, you got to come and look at the food. And then I would come and look at the food, and, if I needed to put a topper on someone's food, I would. Or if Boo was done with his food, for example, he would come up to me with that look, and he'd be like, oh, I'm finished with my food. And sometimes I'd give him a little bit more, or sometimes I would just be like, good boy, Boo, that's great that you finished your food. Another thing that Boo used to do is when I was preparing the food, or even during snack time, if the cats were going to get their crunchies, I would be in the kitchen. And if the cats were either eating here on the play rug or having their snack on the play rug, Boo would escort me. He would escort me from the kitchen to this room with so much joy and happiness. Like, he would just be so happy. He'd be like running ahead of me and just so happy to escort me to this area where I would either give them some crunchies or a treat or a meal. And, you know, that's not happening anymore. Splash and Simba don't do that. It's just a completely different dynamic. This is what's left of Splash's breakfast. He did not finish it. Here's Simba's. So Simba went under the day sofa in Boo's room after he ate a little bit of his meal. So I put some freeze-dried chicken on it and I gave it to him underneath the day sofa. And as you could see, he ate the majority of his breakfast, which is good. Another thing I've been missing a lot recently with regards to Boo and Stella is that they were the two leader cats and Splash and Simba were the two follower cats. And that was pretty much with everything. You know, if it was time for a meal, Stella and Boo would dig right in and Splash and Simba would look and follow and then eat. If it was playtime, Boo and Stella would, you know, start playing with me and then Splash and Simba would follow. So I feel like in some respects, like they're kind of lost with regards to that, but also it just makes it harder for me because now I have to be more coaxing to get them to do things, and I have to put so much more energy into getting them to do things, whereas before it was so easy because Boo and Stella were in charge. I'm down here with the Lucky Seven. I've been combing them and brushing them, and Sammy and Nancy have been playing the ambush game this morning, and I'm realizing that, like, this is how they play with each other. There's Ziggy. Here's Goldie. Hey, Goldie. How are you, Goldie? And here's Nancy. She jumped up here by the window. She's in kind of an ornery mood this morning, but they've been ambushing each other, and they're not trying to attack each other. They're not trying to hurt each other. They're just like playing this game. Ringo loves playing with this toy. It is 7:20 p.m. I just walked in the room and I have to tell you what I saw. So Splash and Simba were cuddled up on the bed together. It reminds me so much of when Splash and Stella used to be cuddled up on the bed together. As soon as I walked in, though, they like separated, but I witnessed it. I saw it. And so what's been going on this afternoon is I've been downstairs cleaning cat stuff and doing cat laundry and just organizing some cat stuff. I mean, I barely made a dent, but I did get quite a bit done. I vacuumed up down there. And I also did laundry. I'm on like the second or third load of laundry. I also ironed a bunch of clothes. So made some progress today. I would like to just be able to relax for a little bit, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I still have to scoop the litter, make something for dinner, and clean up the kitchen. But anyway, I just wanted to document this with Splash and Simba. It was so cute. So Simba was in Boo's room earlier today, and then in the afternoon, he was like walking around, and he like wanted to come out of the room, but then he didn't want to come out of the room. So I just picked him up and I put him on the bed in here. I was like, you want to go visit Splash? And so the two of them Had the door shut this afternoon. In the morning, like everyone was mingling with each other. There was no problem. And Nancy was on the bed where these guys are now. She was very happy. But then when I wanted to go out for a little while, I was like, okay, guys, let's just get separated because I don't want issues. So that's what's been going on. It's 9:38 p.m. There's Nancy, and I just put this toy on for them. And look what I have going on over here. So I found these catnip mats that Sharon made the cats. I was organizing some stuff down here, and I was like, oh, I was looking for those. So what I did was I put those on the floor. I did not put any new catnip in them, but I put a feeder mouse on top of them. And this feeder mouse has some dry cat food in it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens overnight. Like when I come down here tomorrow, where are these mice going to be? Are they going to be where I left them in the middle of these catnip mats? Here's another one. Here's another one. There's 7 altogether. Or are they going to be moved off of the mats and are they going to be empty? Look at Nancy. She's not a big fan of these feeder mice because she says it makes her do too much work to get the crunchies out. Nancy, you're so silly. Nancy, you're so silly. It is 7:30 a.m. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Sammy. So Sammy has been doing this new thing. There's Nancy. See Nancy? She's on the bottom of the steps. Sammy's on the top of the steps. So Sammy has claimed this area up here as her territory, especially at night. And what that has been doing is it's been keeping Nancy away from the door. Nancy used to bang on the door in the middle of the night, and she used to cry at the door in the middle of the night because she wanted to come upstairs. But Sammy says no. Sammy says she's in charge up here. Right, Sammy? And she makes sure that doesn't happen. So Sammy is the kitchen door guard. Right, Sammy? You're the guard. Okay, let's go downstairs. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Goldie. Someone's in the litter box. Let's see what they did with their feeder mice. Did you eat your mouse? Did you eat your mouse? Okay, who ate the mice? So last night, I left one of these mice on one of these catnip mats. As we can see, some of the mice have been moved off of the mats. Some haven't. The question is, do they still have treats in them? And look at this. They have a few treats, but most of the treats are empty. Like most of the treats are gone. So maybe they're learning how to play with these toys and get the treats out. Here's another one. Here's another one that only has a few treats left. Did you like your treats, Nancy? Here's another one that only has a few treats left. Oh, this one's full. So my question, Nancy, is who's been eating all the treats? Is it just one cat eating all the treats? Or is it multiple cats? Here's another mouse, only has a few treats left. This one's full. And this one only has a few left. And when I say treats, what these are, this is just dry cat food. This is not actual treats. Good morning, Ringo. I hope Ringo's been eating them because Ringo could use some extra calories. And Ziggy can use some extra calories. Nancy can use less calories. How you doing, Ringo? Did you like your snacks? Did you like your snacks? Are you able to get snacks out? So this morning I did look at the security camera footage to see, if I could see who's getting the treats out. But there were so many clips, I have to look through them again. Yesterday when I was cleaning and organizing, I found this toy that the cats love. The problem is that it's missing the feather attachment. So it's working and this little thing is poking out, but there's no feathers attached. But last night the cats enjoyed playing with it anyway. It's 9 a.m. and all the cats are eating their breakfast. except for Nancy. Nancy just wants to play. So it could be that Nancy's the one that ate most of the crunchies out of the feeder mice. Today for breakfast, the cats are splitting a large 10-ounce can of Waruva. It's one of the fish-based varieties, I forget. And then they're also splitting a 5.5-ounce can of Friskies turkey and giblets pate. And they have a little bit of freeze-dried chicken on top, and then a little bit, like a teaspoon, of the Tiki Cat high-protein dry cat food. They've been getting canned food for breakfast and then raw food for dinner. And as I'm saying that, I just remembered that I have some leftover raw food that they were supposed to get for breakfast. I have to make a note of that, and they'll have it tomorrow for breakfast. It's 9:12 a.m. I just put a plate of food out for Ox, and I touched him again. Same seat, same thing. He was sitting on the chair with his back out, and I just walked up and put my finger on him. As soon as my finger touched him, he jumped off the seat. So hopefully he'll go and eat. He has some leftover raw food. He has some 9 Lives pate. And then he also has some Waruva, I think it's the Splash Dance, leftover pate. It's about 1 p.m. And I wanted to show you Nancy and Richard because they were so cute. Nancy was splooting on the bed, but I put the camera on. They're so comfortable on the bed. Splash is underneath it today. It is weigh day for Simba. Here's Simba. I just put him on top of this cat tower. And let's see what he weighs. He weighs exactly what he's been weighing for like the past 5 weeks. This is crazy. Simba says he's very frustrated because we've been working so hard on getting his weight down. So yesterday he didn't have as many crunchies as he normally has. He didn't have as much food as he normally has. We keep cutting things out and cutting things back, and the scale is not budging. And in addition to cutting things back, we're having more playtime. So we're exercising more, we're cutting back on food, and the scale is not budging. I don't know if Simba has used the litter box yet this morning. So if he does use the litter box, I will weigh him again and see if it made a difference. Right now, I'm just so frustrated because, the scale's not moving. Right, Simba? It is now 9 a.m. and the cats are just about to have their breakfast. I wanted to weigh Simba one more time, and he's still at 19 pounds and 2 ounces. Hopefully, this coming week will be the week that we break past this plateau. It is 9:06 p.m. and this is what's going on with the play rug. So there's toys all over, cat grass, some cupcake wrappers from when the cats ate some crunchies earlier. I'm going to move this stuff off, clean this up, because I got something for the cats. This is what I got for the cats. It's supposed to be a tunnel with 5 entrances. It's supposed to be pretty big, and it's going to be kind of like a big octopus, but it's supposed to be a big tunnel for the cats. Here's Simba. I don't know if Simba and Splash are going to like it, but I'm going to let them have first dibs at it. I'm going to set it up here and see if they want to play with it tonight. I figure it's something new for them, something different, something to, break their routine a little bit, give them some variety. So we'll see if they like it. Splash is here with me now, so he's watching. Let's see if he'll use the tunnel. I really like the fact that it comes with this carrying case. None of the other tunnels that I have come with like a case like this. Not that I'm going to be carrying it a lot of places, but I just think for storage, it's really nice to have like a case to put it in. Here it is all folded up. They had several different colors to choose from. They had like a black one, a white one, and then they had this one which was very colorful. I chose this one because I'm figuring if I have this downstairs, the colors are light enough that I could see fleas on it. And I don't know, it just seemed like a happier version of it with all the different colors. I was going to get the white one because then for sure I'd be able to see all the fleas on it. But it reminded me too much of like an industrial thing, like some kind of industrial ductwork or something. So that's why I got the one with the colors. Here's Splash, he's watching. I'm afraid it's going to just like shoot out. Look at Splash. He's like, what's going on here? There's one. One didn't open. There it is. This is big. This is big. This is what it looks like. And when I saw this online, I was like, Sammy is going to lose her mind over this. Because she has a 3-way tunnel that I bring out like in the winter around holiday time because it's Christmas themed. But this is 5-way. This is a 5-way tunnel. And it's also kind of sad because I know Boo would love this. Boo loved his tunnel. If Boo was here, he would be having so much fun with this. So we'll see if Simba and Splash use it overnight. I don't know if they will, but it'll be here just in case they want to. I just sprinkled some dried catnip in that hole in the middle of the tunnel. I could tell that Splash and Simba can already smell it. I don't know if they're going to go in the tunnel to get it, though. Here, Splash. Get the catnip, Splash. You going to get the catnip? You going to get the catnip, Splash? It's in the tunnel. Yeah, it's in the tunnel. Get it in the tunnel. Go ahead, you go in there. He's looking. You could go in there. I'm wondering if this tunnel is too small for Splash and Simba because they're big cats. And this is kind of like, these tubes are kind of narrow. Can you go in the tunnel, Splash, or are you too big? Can you go in the tunnel or are you too big? You go in. Yeah, you go in the tunnel. Go ahead. Go ahead, get the catnip. It's in the tunnel. It's in the tunnel. That's a tunnel. You know what a tunnel is? Splash is thinking about it. He's thinking about it. He's like, I'm thinking about going in there. I wonder if he would, like, he'd probably have to crawl to go in there. Like, you could see he's taller. He's taller than the tunnel. So he can't just, like, walk in there. Maybe this is too small for all the cats. Maybe this is made for kittens. I don't know. I'm just about to give Splash and Simba their crunchy mice. And Simba poked his head in one of the tunnels. Maybe Simba's going to go in a tunnel. But he's waiting for his mouse right now. I put a little bit of catnip inside of each tunnel. I've been playing with Splash and Simba, but they don't want to go in it. But now that there's some catnip, Splash is sticking his head in there. Look how big Splash is compared to the tunnel. Like, I don't even know if he could go in there. Like, if he goes in there, there wouldn't be much room around him. He would have to really crawl in there. See, look. He could barely fit. This tunnel is really made for smaller cats. Sammy wanted to come upstairs. She's seeing this tunnel for the first time. Look at this. Right in there. She fits. This is a Sammy-sized tunnel. Splash is watching from the scratch and roll. She's right in the middle of it right now. Eating the catnip, probably. So what Sammy loves to do with the tunnels downstairs is she'll sit in the tunnel and then randomly she'll fly out of it and it scares everyone. She does it downstairs all the time. And then it scares the other cats. Splash is watching her. Oh, there she came out of that one. Sammy, this is the most amazing tunnel, right? Look at that. It has 5 tunnels, Sammy. Sammy, it has 5 tunnels. 5. What a crazy tunnel, right? I just put Sammy in the middle of the tunnel. Look at her tail. Splash got scared. Where are you, Sammy? Where are you, Sammy? Which tunnel is she in? Oh, she's in the middle. She's moving her tail around. There's Sammy. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Sammy, you like the tunnel? See, it fits Sammy. She's a good size for the tunnel, but she's also the smallest cat in the house. She's the smallest cat in the house. So I don't know how many of the other cats are going to actually fit in here. It's 7 a.m. Here's Splash and Simba. Splash is so cute, sleeping on that chair. Simba's on the cat tower, and I just checked all the security camera footage from overnight, and they did not sleep where they are like all night. They just went up there probably like an hour ago. This tunnel thing was a big fail because neither of them were interested in it all night. Like, they just stayed away from it. So I'm going to bring this downstairs because I know Sammy will enjoy it down there. And I think Ziggy will like it. Maybe one of the other cats will use it also. I'm not going to leave it here because Splash and Simba, they didn't like it. So it's just taking up space here that could be better used for them. So I'll make room downstairs and I'll just put this downstairs for now, and I'll see if Sammy uses it and if they enjoy it. If they don't enjoy it, I'll probably end up donating it. Good morning, Splashy. It is 7:50 a.m. and I put the tunnel downstairs and I put the cat grass back on the play rug along with all of the toys that fell out of the tunnel. There was a bunch of pom-pom and ball toys in the tunnel. And now I have 2 happy cats lounging on the play rug. Right now, the windows are open, so they're getting some air and a little bit of a breeze. But I think they're really more interested in waiting for their breakfast. Are you guys hungry? You want breakfast? Okay, maybe not. Maybe they just want to rest on the rug. Let me show you what Simba and Splash love. And we were just doing it, but now Simba is trying to get the grass on his own. So this is what they love. They love it when I basically pluck a blade of grass. I just cut it with my hand, and then they love being fed blades of grass. This is why Simba's overexcited and trying to chew on his own grass. I mean, he's obviously able to chew on his own grass, but I don't know, I just find it's like super efficient to kind of help them along. And no, he does not vomit after he eats this grass. I mean, very occasionally, if he has a hairball, it'll help bring up a hairball. But he just loves this grass. Right now, they're getting it as an appetizer. And Splash has been eating it too. Watch. I don't know if Simba's going to block me from giving it to Splash. Hold on. If the piece is too big, sometimes it'll fall out of their mouth. Here you go, Splash. Here. The perfect placement is if they kind of bite the blade of grass in the middle, then they kind of chew it and then they swallow it. And just like that. That's how they like to eat their grass. For breakfast today, Splash and Simba are having the Nature's Variety Instinct Raw Bites that I got on clearance from PetSmart. They're half price, so I bought several bags. They're getting a half of a serving, and I'm gonna try something different today. Like, I'm gonna just split up their breakfast into 2 separate meals, so when they get their afternoon snack, I want that to be the second half of their breakfast. And then I'm going to do the same thing with their dinner. They'll get like a half of a dinner, and then before I go to bed, they'll get the other half of their dinner. I want to see how they do with that, because with the routine we've been on, Simba's not losing weight. Like, he's just stuck at that same weight. And I keep reducing the amount of food, reducing the amount of treats, increasing his activity level, and there's no budge on the scale, like nothing. So I'm just going to try like more smaller meals. So instead of a full serving at breakfast, a little snack in the afternoon, a full serving at dinner, a little snack before I go to bed, I'm just gonna split up their meals into 2 smaller halves and see if that works. See if we notice any kind of difference. As you can see, he's devouring his breakfast. They love these raw bites, and I hope they're not being discontinued. They're just really hard to find in stores around here. There's supposed to be 3 local pet stores that carry them. One, I will not buy them at because they always have a problem with the freezer that they're stored in. And the other 2, like, never have them in stock. So Simba just finished his. Splash finished his. Hopefully they're satisfied enough for now. Here's the tunnel. And I could tell that the cats moved it already, because when I first put it down here, there were not 2 branches of it pointing under this old daybed. It was just 1 branch pointing under there. So they've moved it. And when I first put it down here, like, Sammy immediately went in it, like she just did. And then she was like sitting in the middle, but I could tell she was stressed out because she can't really see out of all of them at the same time. She was trying to decide, well, like, which one am I going to look out of? So, like, she's not here. Here she is. How do you like your tunnel, Sammy? Notice it's like a perfect fit for her. Here's Nancy. Here's Ziggy. So Ziggy's a small cat like Sammy. She's only a little bit bigger than Sammy. Nancy, I would say, is a medium-sized cat. She's not as big as, like, Splash, Simba, or Ringo, but she's not as small as Sammy. I need to put a camera pointing at this to, like, keep an eye on it. Well, at least these guys seem to be interested in it. They're not afraid of it. They're interacting with it a bit. So obviously it's going to be better to put it down here than upstairs. So what I got to do now is I'm going to brush everyone and flea comb them, because that's what we're doing. Right now it is the middle of July. We've made it this far without having a flea issue so far. So I'm hoping we can make it through the rest of the year. I really credit it so far to the dehumidifier, which has been running pretty much the entire season so far. I have it set to keep the humidity around 45% or below, and it's been doing that. Right now, I'm looking at the sensor, and it says it's 42% humidity down here. But I did shut it off so I could film this because it does make noise in the background. I'm hoping we can get through the next several months without any fleas. It's 9 a.m. and I was just brushing Simba, and I learned something the other day that is pretty interesting. So this little pom-pom, this is made from the cat hair that I just got off of Simba. So all you do is you take the cat hair off of the brush and you fold it up into a ball, and then you roll the ball between your two hands. And what it does is it felts the cat hair. And so this is how much cat hair I got off of Simba today, and he has just been going crazy playing with this little ball. Like, he has not been really interested in a lot of the other pom-poms in the house recently, but this one he's very interested in. It's a little bit small because, you know, I only got cat hair off of him today. What I should do is just save the cat hair that I get off of him and then, like, roll it into a ball. Also, I have not had a chance to brush Splash this morning. He just doesn't want to be brushed this morning. But this is a free way to make a cat toy for your cat. Like, literally just comb them and take the cat hair that you got off of them and create a cat toy with it. Ready, Simba? There's so much noise outside right now. Like, there's so many landscapers. Where did it go, Simba? Where did it go? Where did it go? You have it? There it is. There it is. And you can add to it over time. Like, when I brush him again tomorrow, when I get more cat hair off of him, I could just roll it onto there and kind of make it a larger pom-pom. It's 10 o'clock in here, Simba. Hey, Simba. I made Simba a pom-pom from Nancy, Sammy, Ziggy, and Richard's hair. This is the pom-pom. It's bigger than the other one. You want it, Simba? How's it smell? How's it smell? What does it smell like? Let's see how the cats. Ready? Ready? Oops. Did that hit you? Here, ready? 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 You don't want to play with it? You don't want it? You don't want to play with it? Simba says he would rather just lay here and air out his manly bits. Okay, Simba. Look at what's going on down here. That's Sammy in the middle of the tunnel. She has a little piece of shrimp on top there. So I just gave the cats all a little piece of shrimp as a treat. I don't know if she's going to like it, if she's going to want to eat it. You going to eat your shrimp? She's licking it. Oh, there she goes. I gave each of the cats a little piece of shrimp tonight. I had some shrimp for dinner earlier. And then I said I'm going to defrost 3 of them because I had the cooked frozen shrimp. And I had bought the kind that does not have the, what is it, like trisodium phosphate, whatever that stuff is, the additive in it. I had bought like natural shrimp. So I defrosted 3 shrimps for the cats. And then I cut each shrimp into 3 pieces, so they just had a small piece. There's Richard, and his piece of shrimp is still on the toy. I don't know if you could see it there. Look at these 2. What you doing, Richie? You gonna come up here? You want some pets? Want some pets, Richie? He likes to come up if I sit on the sofa. You okay, buddy? I gotta go clean the kitchen and cut up a watermelon, and then I'll be down later, okay? I'm trying to space out their snacks. Like, they just had their dinner a little while ago, so I'm gonna wait until right before I go to bed to give them their snacks. It's 7 a.m. here, Simba. He's on the scale. It is midweek. Like, we're in the middle of the week between his weigh-ins, and he is still exactly 19 pounds and 2 ounces. This scale is not budging. So for the past several days, he's gotten like a half portion for breakfast. And then as a snack, he's gotten the other half of his breakfast instead of the snack. So that's cutting down on like the snack food that they were eating. And it wasn't a big snack to begin with, but it was maybe like 20, 30 calories maybe. So the snack is gone. And then I've been cutting back on their dinner portions. After dinner, they get 1 tablespoon of crunchies in a feeder toy, like in the mouse feeder toy where they have to get the crunchies out. So they have to work more for that. And then in the automatic feeders at 4 a.m., they've been getting freeze-dried chicken, freeze-dried minnows, like that kind of stuff. I don't know what's going on, Simba. What's going on, Simba? I feel like I just keep doing what the vet said, which is just cut back a little, cut back a little, cut back a little, but the weight is not going anywhere. It's 8:35 a.m. Splash and Simba are eating their breakfast. Actually, Simba just finished his. He ate his so fast, I hope he doesn't get sick from them. Splash is eating his now. As you could see, there's like 4 different types of cat grass on the play rug. This one down here is the most recent one I got at Whole Foods 2 days ago. This one is homegrown. This one is homegrown. And then that one is from PetSmart last week. And I don't know why Splash is not eating the rest of his food. Maybe because I'm filming him. So I'm going to turn the camera off. Here's Simba. He has discovered this box. Sammy's been laying in this box a lot recently, but I guess Simba just discovered it like the other day. So he's been enjoying laying in it also. How you doing, Simba? You okay? All the windows are open. The cats are getting a lot of fresh air. It's only like 73 degrees out. It's supposed to be a beautiful day today. It's supposed to be like 83 or 85 and sunny. So I'm hoping to be able to go out, run a few errands, and then come back and get a lot of stuff done around the house today, right, Simba? We are still trying to catch up from earlier this year, you know, between my shoulder issue and then Boo's passing and Sammy being missing and then Stella's passing. There's been just so much upheaval over the first half of this year that I'm still trying to catch up from it. So that's what I'm hoping to be able to do today. Right, Simba? I just came downstairs to give the Lucky 7 their breakfast, but look at what's going on here. So this is Sammy's tunnel, but look at this. Look at this. Sammy, what is in your tunnel? Good morning, Ziggy. What is in this tunnel? Sammy. Good morning, Ziggy. Sammy. Sammy. Look at this, look. So it appears to me that Sammy was playing with this game and she decided that she's going to hunt this toy and she's going to drag this toy into the tunnel with her. Is that what you did? Oh, look at this. Someone else is in the tunnel. Who's in the tunnel? It's Nancy. Maybe Nancy dragged the toy in the tunnel. How you doing, Nancy? Nancy, did you discover the tunnel? It's like a labyrinth. It's a cat labyrinth. How you doing, Nancy? You a good girl? Have you been enjoying the tunnel, Nancy? Nancy and Sammy have like a rivalry going on. So maybe that's what's happening. Maybe they're kind of battling it out over tunnel territory. Here's Richard. Richard's waiting to be brushed. Richard looks like he was up all night. Richard's so funny. How you doing, Richie? How you doing, Richard? You tired? Here's Goldie. She's been looking out the back door and hanging out with Sammy. How you doing, Goldie? You want some treats? Goldie, you want some treats? Goldie knows her treats. Here's Nancy. She's waiting to be brushed. Look at this. Look, here's Nancy. And here's Ziggy. They're like lined up because they know that it's time to get brushed and combed. Okay, who's first? Nancy's first? I really should get a brush that's a little bit bigger than this one because I bought this when these guys were still, small. Look at this. This is what Ziggy does. She tries to like push her way in. So I really should get one that's a little bit bigger than this. Okay, you're next. Okay, let's brush Ziggy. And this is what Ziggy does. She usually goes into a full sploot while I'm brushing her. So I can make sure that I brush her legs too. That's what she likes. Right, Ziggy? Oh, and she likes her chin. Ziggy loves being brushed, right, Ziggy? I don't really get a lot of cat hair off Ziggy. I mean, sometimes I do. Like the other day, I got a ton, but look at Nancy. Ziggy's looking at me like, why did you stop brushing me? Okay, Ziggy. Okay, Ziggy. Okay, Ziggy, let's get brushed. Good. Good girl. Then after we get brushed, we get combed. Right, Ziggy? Ziggy loves being combed. And they get checked for fleas every day. Right, Ziggy? Okay. You're a good girl, Ziggy.
Richard,
So after the lucky seven eat their breakfast downstairs, then Nancy comes upstairs, and as I'm trying to put my breakfast together, she whines at me because she wants crunchies on top of her breakfast. And there's Ziggy. Sometimes Ziggy wants some crunchies also. So what I have to do is I have to go downstairs, get Nancy's plate, bring it up here, and then put some crunchies on it. And then she ends up eating like more of her food. Sometimes she finishes everything on the plate. Sometimes she eats part of it, but like she just really begs for crunchies. So I just give her like a sprinkling on top. And then in here, in Boo's room, I have the window open and we have Ringo and Sammy. Sometimes it's more than just the two of them. Sometimes it's also Richard and Eva or Goldie. But this seems to be like their routine. They want to come upstairs. They want to smell some air out of the open window. Maybe they see Cousin Oliver outside. I've been calling him Cousin Ox a lot recently. I don't know why. I think it's just easier to call him Ox than Oliver because it's like one syllable versus three. But usually I don't feed him until like I know the lucky seven are done with their meal. And then I'll like scrape their plates together and then I'll give him like leftovers. And then sometimes I'll add to it. Cousin Oliver's outside. He's sitting on this patio chair. It's 9:39. I just ate breakfast and this is what Sammy does. She crawls on top of me when I sit at the kitchen table. And she wants a ton of pets. And she just wants to, like, chill out here. Like, she wants to be a lap cat for a few minutes. Right, Sammy? She goes into, like, a zone, which reminds me so much of Ditto because it's, like, the same zone that Ditto used to go in. Like, when Ditto was here, like, in Boo's room, and I was, trying to get him well, he used to do stuff like this, and I would put a blanket on my lap because, he was bleeding, and he'd lay on the blanket on my lap, but he was in the same zone as Sammy, like a mental zone. Like you could actually feel her slip into whatever zone she goes into. Maybe it's like a bliss zone. That's what it's kind of like. She slips into bliss. Right, Sammy? It's 3:30 p.m. I just got home. Got home a little bit later than I wanted to, and it's snack time for the boys, right, Simba? Simba's like, yeah, where's my snack? So here's their snack. They're getting Friskies. It's like a chicken and turkey casserole. They're going to try it for the first time. I don't know if they're going to like it. Simba's getting some of his green-lipped mussel powder in it for his joints. They're getting a few of the oral care crunchies and then a veggie field treat on top. Now, the lucky seven have already tried this, and they do like it. So hopefully Simba and Splash will eat it. Here's Splash. He's checking it out. I think he licked it. Or he's smelling it. You could eat it. Eat your snack, Simba. Simba, eat your snack. See how smart Simba is. He knows what I'm telling him. Splash, eat your snack. Splash, eat your snack. Eat it, Splash. You like it. So we have to remember that when Splash is given some kind of new food, he's usually afraid of it at first. Like, he usually rejects it. Eat that, Splash. You're okay. It's okay. It's okay, Splash. You could eat it. Simba's eating it. Sometimes with these guys, what they do is they wait for the other one to start eating. So, like, sometimes Simba won't eat, but if he sees Splash is eating, then Simba will start eating, and vice versa. Sometimes if I put it, like, right under his nose, then he'll eat it. So I just moved it over there. So today I ended up going to PetSmart, and I bought some food there for the cats to try. I bought a few different types of dry food for them to try. I'm trying to get away from the grain-free dry food because, after what happened to Stella and Boo, I'm just like rethinking everything that I've been told about cat food. I'm rethinking just all the dogma that's out there. I also recently found out that the grain-free dry cat food has like more pesticides and chemicals in it than the non-grain free, if that makes sense. I bought a few different types for them to try. I also bought some canned food for Ox. So I went to the Dietary, and that's where I was getting the large cans of the 9 Lives wet cat food for Ox, Cousin Oliver. And when I took another look at the ingredients today, I realized that they put sodium nitrite in it, which is not healthy. And, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable buying this anymore. I bought a few other cans of other things. And then when I was in PetSmart, I just bought him a whole bunch of Friskies. And then I ended up in a Walmart. I don't normally go to Walmart. We don't really have Walmarts around here that are convenient. But I just happened to be near this one where I was. And so I was like, I haven't been to a Walmart in, I don't know, maybe like a year. It's been so long. So let me go inside and walk around. So I bought some cans of food there for Cousin Oliver. Oh, and then on the way home, I went to Daiso. And I bought some cute little dishes for Splash and Simba. If I want to feed them a little bit of wet food like this. They're almost like little bowls, but they're just like really shallow. So hopefully they'll like them. I just sprinkled some Fortiflora on the food, because sometimes Splash will eat the food if I put that on top of it. See, now he's going to try it. And here's Simba. So Simba licked up the food and then he ate the treats that were on top of it. I just put some Fortiflora on his also. Now, it's fine if these guys don't want to eat it. I'm just trying different foods with them and just trying to figure out like what they like, what they'll eat. And I know the Lucky 7 will eat this, and I also know Cousin Oliver will eat this. So if these guys don't like it, I'm not going to give it to them again. And it appears that Simba does not like it, unless he gives it a try now with the Fortiflora. Simba's known to just lick the Fortiflora off the food. Meanwhile, what's going on out here? So here's Nancy. And look what someone did to this cat grass. They pulled it out of the little pot. That's fine. This cat grass has seen better days. It's almost ready to be disposed of. Hello, Nancy. And over here, it seems that we have 2 hunters. What are you guys hunting? What are you hunting? There's a bug. They're hunting the bug. I don't know what kind of bug that is, but we're going to get rid of it, right, guys? Right now, there's a crunchy hunting party going on here. This is what I do for the Lucky 7. So when they want their afternoon treats, I just kind of scatter them here on the play rug and around the play rug. I don't know if you could see Ringo. He's like up there. Sammy's up there. Ziggy's over there. Goldie's over there. But they're hunting some treats. They're having the Shameless Pets Cran You Say chicken. It's about 8 p.m. and I gave Cousin Oliver some food a little while ago. It's the same food he had for breakfast. So he had it for breakfast. He devoured it. He really enjoyed it. So I was like, well, it's a big can. I'll just give him more of it for dinner. It's some food that I had, downstairs in my cat pantry, like a bunch of canned cat food that I've had for a while. So this is one of the older cans of food, but it's still good. So I just gave it to him for dinner, and I looked, and I was like, well, he didn't eat it. What's going on? Why didn't he eat it? So I came inside, and I grabbed a spoonful of Crunchies, and I put some dry cat food on top of it for him. So now it looks like he's eating the dry cat food off of the top of it. We'll see if he's going to eat the wet food. But the fact that he's getting picky, now he's really starting to get comfortable because, even when Boo was living outside, he wasn't picky. Like, I gave him food, and he pretty much usually ate whatever I gave him because he was so happy to have food. And the same thing with the Lucky 7. The Lucky 7 were so happy that I was feeding them when they were outside, even when they first came inside. Like, usually when cats are living outside, they're so happy, like, whatever you feed them. See that? He didn't eat it. He ate some of the Crunchies off of it. You want different food? I've been giving him a lot of wet food because it's been so hot, and, he needs to get liquid that way. I did buy a bunch of like Friskies and stuff for him. So maybe what I'll do is I'll give him like half a can of Friskies just to see if he eats it. I hope he's not sick. I just gave him a plate of what's left from the can of Friskies that Splash and Simba had for a snack earlier today. I don't know if he's going to go eat it or not. He just went over to the second plate and he's eating some of that, so. I mean, it could also be that someone else fed him. It could be that he ate somewhere else. So who knows? But he has been sitting on the patio chair for quite some time. Here's Splash. Splash loves sitting in the middle of all the cat grass. I have to grow some more for them. Hey, Simba. How you doing, Simba? I'm putting your dinner together, okay? It's 9:41 p.m. I just gave Splash and Simba their little treat mice. They're little mice toys that you could put crunchies in. Splash is so good with this toy. Like, he knows how to get them out perfectly. And tonight, Simba's doing a good job with his. Sometimes Simba gets lazy and he just eats Splash's. He waits for Splash to bat the dry cat food out of the toy, and then Simba eats it. But today, Simba's doing good with his own. It took Simba a little while to catch on to these toys, but he's finally, I think he's getting the hang of it a little bit more. Weather-wise, we had an absolutely beautiful day, and it's really nice outside. I actually just got back a little while ago. I went out for a little bit this evening, and it's just such, like, perfect summer weather right now. It's not too humid, not too hot. It's really, really nice. And down here, we got a whole bunch of cats waiting for some kind of snacks. They've been getting some canned cat food as a snack, and then they each get a scoop of dry food, so like 1 tablespoon of dry food, and then some of the wet food. Although I still see some leftover dinner on their plates. Today they had some chunky beef with chicken. So maybe they didn't like the chunky beef. I don't know. They haven't had beef in a while. I just put Simba on the scale. This cat tower is a scale. And we're still at 19 pounds and 2 ounces. Why will this scale not move? I've never experienced anything like this before. Like, usually a scale will fluctuate every day. Like, you might weigh a few ounces more or less every day. It's been the same exact thing now for weeks. And I know the scale's working. I know it's working because, if I put something else on the cat tower, it shows whatever weight that is. Here's Simba. He's in the kitchen with Sammy. Sammy's under the kitchen table, and the two of them are just like looking at each other. So I was looking at some feeding guidelines this morning. And there's a feeding guidelines for raw food, which says if you want your cat to lose weight, you calculate how much they weigh, and you feed them like 2% of their weight. And for Simba, 2% would be 6 ounces a day. And as far as the raw food goes, he's been getting about 5 ounces of the raw food a day when he was getting raw for breakfast and dinner. And then that leaves a little room for some snacks, which is a little canned food, a little dry food. But then they also say if a cat is getting fed canned food, there's a different calculation. And so for canned food, the calculation is that he should be getting about 280 calories a day, which is real close to the 6 ounces of the raw food, because usually raw food averages 45 to 50 calories an ounce. So 50 calories an ounce times 6 ounces is 300. So if he's supposed to be getting 6 ounces of raw food a day for him to lose weight, that's approximately 300 calories. And then the canned food is saying 278 calories. So I know like around 280 would probably be good for him. And that's the guidelines that I've been using. Like, that's what I've been using. So I don't know why the scale isn't budging. Look at what's going on down here. So the cats had a catnip party last night. I took their catnip mats out, and yeah, you could see they really enjoyed themselves. And here is the new tunnel, which they've been enjoying. And look at this. They knocked the cat tower over. Sammy, what did you guys do? That must have been some party that you guys had. It's 1 p.m. and I'm sitting here working on a video, like I'm working on the couch. And here's Goldie. She's just sitting here on the scratch and roll. She's just hanging out. How you doing, Goldie? So what I realized today and what I learned is that valerian can stay in a cat system from anywhere between 2 hours and 24 hours. That's why this morning it seemed like Splash and Simba were like still kind of high on that catnip blend from last night. Not as relaxed as they were last night, but they definitely seemed, Splash especially definitely seemed more sociable. Like he was just more relaxed than he usually is. So what I think I'm going to do tonight, maybe, or tomorrow night, is give that mix to the Lucky 7 and see how they are with it. So I did not put any relaxing stuff in their breakfast at all. So it's surprising that Goldie is just hanging out here on the scratch and roll like this. I've noticed that if I put a few drops, like literally just like 2 or 3 drops of CBD in their food, then Goldie will do something like this. Then she appears to be more relaxed. So I don't know, unless she's waiting for like an afternoon treat, but it's not time for an afternoon treat yet. Here's Nancy. She was taking a nap in Stella's castle. Nancy says it's now her princess house. You tired, Nancy? You tired? Okay. All the cats are resting. It's not snack time yet, Nancy. We still have another hour or so, okay? Good girl. You're a good girl, Nancy. Check this out. So this is like a little dish or a little bowl that I got at Daiso for Splash and Simba yesterday. I got 2 blue ones and 2 gray ones. And I thought they were the perfect size for, like a little snack. Or also if I want to give them like half of a can of wet food. Sometimes on a small plate, they easily push it over the side of the plate. It can be messy, but since this is kind of like a bowl, I thought this would be perfect because sometimes I'll give them like half of a 3-ounce can each. So it'll just be like 1.5 ounces of food. It's perfect for this. But I just realized something. I don't know why I didn't think of this in the store. This is a cupcake wrapper, and I've been giving them like crunchy treats in this cupcake wrapper, and at night I'll put a cupcake wrapper in their automatic feeder with some freeze-dried chicken, sometimes some dried sardines, stuff like that. But look how perfect it is. Look how perfect this little dish, this little bowl is for a cupcake wrapper. Like it could not be more perfect. So now I'm wondering if I should potentially get more of these, because that way I could use them for, let's say, the Lucky 7, if I want to give them like some crunchies or a little snack, or I could use them for Splash and Simba for nighttime snacks in the feeder, because I did use these for an afternoon snack. They had like half of a little 3-ounce can of Reveal chicken, each of them, for their afternoon snack, because they're getting like half of a breakfast, half, then the other half for like a snack. So this worked perfectly for that. And then if I use another one in their automatic feeders at night, then that's like 2 each. So maybe I'd want to get like another one each. So what I've been doing is I've just been putting like these things in the dishwasher. I run my dishwasher pretty much every night. So I've been putting these in the dishwasher, and that way it works out instead of having to constantly wash dishes all day. So anyway, these are so perfect. If you live near a Daiso and you have cats, definitely check it out. This is a great way to feed them, because if you give them some like dry food or treats in a little cupcake wrapper, then they eat it, you just dispose of this, and then you actually don't even need to wash this as often. So I thought that's really cool. It is 9:37 p.m. I am here with Splash and Simba, and they have their crunchy mice. This is how they get their crunchies now. They got to work for their crunchies. They get 1 mouthful of crunchies at night, and I am in the process of getting them set up for their day tomorrow. So I am going to be out all day tomorrow, and it's the first time in a long time that I'm getting out of New Jersey, and I'm really happy about that. Hopefully I'll get to step foot on a beach tomorrow, and get to relax a little bit. I'm just hoping to have a few hours on a beach tomorrow. That's all I want. Last summer, I did not get to a beach once. I think that was the first summer in my entire life that I did not go to the beach once. So I'm hoping to go tomorrow, and I need to get the cats set up for their day. So I'm gonna feed everyone breakfast like I normally do. Then I'm gonna get them set up for their snacks in the automatic feeder and dinner in the automatic feeder. And of course, I will set them up with breakfast the next day in their automatic feeder in case I don't get back in time. I'm supposed to be back tomorrow evening, but just in case something happens, like last Christmas when I had a flat tire, that delayed my returning. And then there was something else that happened. I remember there was something else that happened that delayed my returning, like on a trip after that. So now whenever I go away for the day, I always leave some extra meals for them. And this will be only the second time that Splash and Simba have been alone by themselves for the full day. So 2 days after Boo passed away, I had an appointment out on Long Island. I could not get out of it, so I was away for pretty much that full day. And Splash and Simba were by themselves that day. There was so much going on at that time. Like, everything was such a whirlwind. Like, it was really kind of like a blur for me. And now it's almost 3 months later, and this will be like the next time that Splash and Simba are alone by themselves for the full day. I don't think there's going to be a problem. You know, they get along with each other. I think they're probably just going to relax all day. It's just might be a little bit weird for them. But I'm sure they're going to be fine. I just need to make sure that the door to downstairs is shut properly. The last time I went out for the day, something happened and the Lucky Seven came upstairs. Like, I swear they were figuring out how to open that door. So I have to remember to put something on the doorknob so that they can't open it if they figure out how to do that. I just set up these 2 automatic feeders. They have 4 meals in them. So for breakfast tomorrow, they're just getting like a few crunchies, just as like a little snack, just to, you know, make sure these are working. And then they have crunchies for dinner tomorrow. And then I set up the following day with crunchies for breakfast and dinner. I should be back before then, but just in case, they have crunchies there. I'm also going to set up their snack feeders, and it was just really weird setting up those feeders. This is the first time that I've used these since Boo passed away, because when I went away for the day, like after he passed away, I only used the 24-hour feeders for Splash and Simba. I didn't set up these larger ones. And, you know, I'm just so used to setting up 4 of them. And then after Stella passed away, it was setting up 3 of them. And now it's just setting up 2 of them. So that's kind of weird. And then I was thinking, well, you know, I have the other 2 that I used for Boo and Stella. I could potentially use those downstairs as a backup, because where it stands right now is I just have that one larger crunchy feeder down there, which runs on batteries. So if something happens and the batteries die, like over the next 24 hours, it's not going to dispense food. So I could use one of these like as a backup down there. I could use 2 of these, but I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud right now. So it's kind of sad. It is 7 a.m. I just put Simba on the scale. Guess what? Guess what? We did it. He's 19 pounds and 1 ounce. We broke through the plateau, the 19 pounds, 2 ounces plateau. Good job, Simba. Good job. We did it, Simba. We did it. So last night he had a crunchy mouse. And then, did you have anything after that? No. I set up their automatic feeders so that at 4 a.m. he had a little bit of crunchies and a little bit of freeze-dried chicken. And then this morning, when the bigger feeder went off, he had a little bit of crunchies. Good job. Good job, Simba. Hopefully that 1 ounce difference on the scale is not just because maybe he's a little dehydrated. But it's not like he had extra crunchies except for what he had this morning. So, I don't know. I'm hopeful. The plan for today is to feed them their normal breakfast, which I have to take out of the refrigerator. And then I'm going to put a wet snack in their feeder for this afternoon. They're going to have crunchies for dinner. And then hopefully I'll be back after that. But if not, then they have the crunchies. I think I already went over this yesterday. It is 10:50 a.m. and here's Simba relaxing on the bed. I'm just about to leave. It's later than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. And all the cats are set up. And the lucky 7 are all in hiding downstairs because the landscaper showed up. And I had no idea that the landscapers were showing up early this morning. So I had all the windows open, the back door was open. So it was way too much noise for them. So they're all in hiding. Hopefully they'll come out of hiding. I have all the cameras on, like everything is set. So yeah, we're good. Hopefully I will not hit crazy traffic. It's 10:25 p.m. I just got home a little while ago. And I'm coming downstairs for the first time and look at this. Like nobody touched their breakfast, which makes no sense because this is food that they like. That is so weird. I wonder why no one ate their breakfast. Hey, Sammy. Here's what's going on with their automatic feeder. As you could see, they've eaten almost all of the food that has come out of it. There's just like a little bit in the corner there. I just put the feeder on pause, so it's not going to dispense any more food tonight. And now I'm going to clean all of this up, and I'll give them each just a little crunchy snack before bed. It's about 9 a.m., and today is Simba's official weigh-in day. And he weighs 19 pounds and 1 ounce. Yay, Simba! So we've finally gotten past the 19 pounds and 2 ounces plateau. Hopefully we're not going to be at a 19 pounds and 1 ounce plateau. Good job, Simba. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Good job. Simba had a whole bunch of cat grass this morning. He loves it when I cut a piece. Let's cut a piece and feed it to him. He just loves this. Right, Simba? Now, we also have to remember, like, that cat grass, this is sprouted grain. So this is grown from wheat berries, which then sprout and grow into wheatgrass, or it's grown from whole barley or whole oats. A lot of people tell you that cats should not eat grains at all, and I actually believed that for a while. But if you think about what cat grass is, it's actually grain that has sprouted and grown. Right, Simba? It's 9:05 a.m. Look at what's going on down here. So there's Sammy, Eva, Ziggy, and Nancy. And I have to flea comb everyone. I see that Ziggy is itching. So far, I haven't found any fleas. And the dehumidifier keeps running. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we stay free of fleas. Hello, Eva. Good morning. Good morning, little Eva. How are you? You're so pretty, Eva. You're so pretty. You like your catnip toy? Watch, she's gonna run. Oh, she didn't run. You like your catnip toy? There she goes. Hello, everybody. Hello, Nancy. Okay, guys, we gotta get combed.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, 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 you're so cute. When you're playing with your toys, when you're sitting in your tunnel, when you're running all around the house, and when you're getting into trouble. Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, 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 you're so cute. When you're meowing for a snack, when you're caring for your spider, when you give the other cats a smack, when you look for some place to hide her. Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
You're so cute.
Sammy, 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 you're so cute.
Look at Ziggy. She's relaxing on the cat scratcher. She's like, yeah, this is my little lounge chair. Hey, Ziggy. She's watching Ringo. Ringo's on top of the cat tower. I put some food outside for Cousin Oliver. So sometimes they like to watch him from the window. The back door is open. They could also watch him from the back door if they want to. Look at Ziggy. Watch when she plays. Look at her face.
Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Ziggy, Ziggy, you're so cute.
Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Ziggy, 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 you're so cute.
When you're playing with your toys, when you're laying on the scratcher, when you're running all around the house, when you're too fast for me to catch you. Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Ziggy, Ziggy, you're so cute.
Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Ziggy, 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 you're so cute.
When you're meowing for a snack, when you're sitting on a shelf, when you're splooting while you're getting brushed, when you're just being your cute self. Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Ziggy, Ziggy, you're so cute.
Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy.
You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Ziggy, 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 you're so cute.
There he is. What he does is he runs underneath the patio table or behind it. Go ahead, go eat your food. Sometimes he waits until I give him permission to eat.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It's 6:45 a.m. I just moved Simba over here to the cat tower with the scale on it. I know I should not be weighing him every day, but I don't know. I just like seeing the general trend. Today he's at 19 pounds, 2 ounces, which is an ounce more than yesterday and the day before, but that's fine. That's fine, right, Simba? Because I know he ate some canned food around 4 a.m. that I left out for him. And now he is going to get his squeeze up with his Cosequin. Wait, Simba. It's 7 a.m. Simba just had his snack. And he had... It's 7 a.m. and here's Splash. I just gave the cats a snack. They got to squeeze up. Is Simba going to eat Splash's squeeze up? I guess so. Okay, maybe not. Simba just walked away from it. So last night, the temperature dipped down to about 68 degrees. And I had all the windows open all night. Actually, I did not even need to put the attic fan on because just with the windows open, we got enough cool air coming into the house to really make it feel just really comfortable. And that's how I remember summers being. I remember, summers would get nice and hot during the day. We'd be in the 80s, sometimes the 90s during the day. But at night, the temperature would cool down, to about 70 degrees, 65 degrees, which was nice because then you could sleep with the windows open, be nice and comfortable. And then during the day, it would be nice and warm. We haven't had that this summer so far. This summer so far, the nights have been so hot and humid along with the days. And that's what I've been missing. I've been missing this cooler nighttime temperature. And it's just so odd that we haven't had that for months now when that used to always be the case. I hope we get more evenings like this that are nice and cool. We have a heat advisory because tomorrow's supposed to be around 100 degrees. Today's supposed to be around 90 degrees. And I had the weirdest dream last night. and Boo was in it. It was just such a weird dream. I don't know where I was. I was at some place and it was like outside, but at the same time, it was like in a basement. And I was there with Sammy and Boo and a black dog. So I was there with like 3 black animals. And there was like a river of alligators. It was the weirdest thing. It was like this big, almost like a moat, but it was like a river. Imagine like a river that's just a little bit wider than an alligator. And just full of alligators. I mean, alligators head to tail on top of each other. It was just like all alligators in this river. And the alligators sleep in the river and they're inactive. But at a certain time of the day, all the alligators wake up and they all leave this river, not by getting out like onto a riverbank or anything, but they all kind of just like swim down this river and away from the area. It was like at one point in the dream, it was like they swim down this river and then like out the door of the building. Like there was a building built around, there was a building with a door that was built around this river so the alligators could get out. So the alligators left at a certain time of the day. And then at another time of the day, they would come back. And the most dangerous times of the day were when the alligators were moving because that's when they were awake. If they were sleeping, there wasn't a problem. And if they were like away, there wasn't a problem. It was just like when they were coming and going. And I remember at one point in the dream, all the alligators had left except for one. And the alligator was coming after, it was coming after me because I remember I had to pick up, I don't know, I picked up like a crate or something and you had to kind of use it as a shield to keep the alligator from attacking you. And it was also coming after the dog. And I remember just trying to keep the dog away. And I remember being concerned about Boo, saying, where's Boo? Did the alligators get Boo? Like, what happened to Boo? Where is he? But Sammy was so small and fast, like, I didn't have to worry about her. And it was just, so it was kind of like a nightmare. I mean, it was so nice to see Boo again. I was like, oh, Boo. But with the alligators, it was a nightmare. And then I woke up from it and I was like, oh my God, that is such a weird dream. Sometimes I have like the weirdest dreams. But it is nice when I have a dream and I see either Boo or Stella because it's like I actually got to spend some time with them. It is 8:10 a.m. I'm just about to go put some food outside for Cousin Oliver. I only put food outside if I see him because if I put food out without seeing him, the ants get to it faster than he does. So I just saw him. He was by the back steps. He was actually here by the steps. He was looking at Sammy. Right now, Ziggy is on the inside of the door, so I'm going to put some food out for him. I'm filming him now before I go outside because when I go outside, he'll usually run. There he is. What he does is he runs underneath the patio table or behind it. Go ahead, go eat your food. Sometimes he waits until I give him permission to eat. He's having some leftover canned food. Some of it is food that he ate yesterday. It's a Walmart brand that we're trying. And the other is a can of food that I had in my cat food pantry for quite a while. And I have it topped with a little bit of dry food. It's super important to make sure that outside cats get plenty of moisture in their food, especially in the summer when it's super hot. So that's when you really want to make sure you're feeding them wet food because cats are notorious for not drinking enough water. So he's been getting a lot of wet food this summer, which he's been happy about. It is 9:22 a.m. and I am having a spontaneous change of plans today. So because it is so beautiful out and it's nice and cool, I've decided I'm going to scrub all the litter boxes today. They haven't been scrubbed in over a month, so it's time to do that. And I'm very thankful that I work from home on a flexible schedule so I can do this. It's probably going to take me about 3 hours. It's 9:22 right now. I hope I'm going to be done by around noon. I have 9 litter boxes to scrub. But not only do I have to scrub the litter boxes, but once I remove the litter boxes, then I have to clean up like all around them. I scrub everywhere around them. vacuum. So it's not just doing the litter boxes, it's doing the whole area around them. Another thing I should mention is I do keep these litter boxes in the shower. However, if you're keeping litter boxes in a shower, make sure you have something that covers the shower drain because you do not want cat litter going down into your plumbing. This is what I have here. These are actually 2 magnets. I only need 1, but there's 2 because I had an extra, and if I don't want to lose the extra, I just put it here anyway. What they are is they're just magnetic sheets. You can buy them at like an office supply store, and you just cut them into a circle to fit your drain. And my drain is metal, so the magnet sheets stick to the drain. They're not sliding around, and they do a great job of keeping everything out of the drain. And then what I do is every time I clean out the litter boxes, clean out this entire area, I take a pitcher full of water and I put water down into the drain just because you don't want the drain itself, like the pipes. There's usually like an elbow joint that retains water. You don't want that to dry out because then you could get sewer gases coming up into your shower area. That happened to me before I had any cats in the house. I was traveling a lot and I wasn't using this downstairs shower. And one day I came down here, I was like, what is that smell? It smells so bad. And that's when I realized, oh, it's the drain. The drain dried out. So I had to put a bunch of water in the drain and the smell went away. And I haven't had that problem since because I make sure that at least once a month I do put water down into the drain. If you keep litter boxes in the shower, always cover the drain. It's after 8 p.m. Look what's across the street. Look. Look, it's 2 little babies. 2 little babies with their mother. That is so cute. They're on the other side of the tree. I haven't seen these guys yet. Little babies. It is 7:30 a.m. and Simba's getting his Cosequin in a squeeze up with a little tiny bit of powdered green lip mussels on top and some freeze-dried chicken. He loves his snacks. Simba loves his little snacks, and he's also starting to love his lunchtime. So since I've been splitting up their breakfast, so they only get like half portion for breakfast, the other half they get for what I'm calling their lunch, like around 2 p.m., sometimes 3 p.m. Simba's so funny because he knows like when it's lunchtime. He's like, okay, I'm ready for lunch. And now he's licking his plate clean. Today for breakfast, Splash and Simba are having some of the Nature's Variety Instinct raw bites that I reconstitute with water. So they're having half a portion and I add a little bit of warm water to it. And I just let these sit here for a little while as I go about my morning, getting ready for my day. Then I drain them off, and Simba usually loves them. Sometimes Splash does also, and sometimes he gets a little picky with them. So hopefully he'll eat his today. If he doesn't, then he'll get a little bit of canned food. Look at what's going on down here. This entire room has like turned into a cat playroom. There's Sammy, there's Nancy. They had catnip last night on their catnip mats. I gave them the catnip blend that has some valerian in it. So we'll see how they do with that today. Sometimes there's some residual in their system. And right now I'm gonna pick up these catnip mats and I am gonna turn their toys on. This is Sammy's tunnel. It's about 7:40 a.m. Here's Simba. And there's some weird stuff going on this morning. So I woke up probably around 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. and I heard what sounded like scratching in my room. And I couldn't figure out if someone was scratching on the cat tower or in the litter box or by the water bowls. I was like, what is going on? So then I sit up and I look and there's nobody there. Like none of the cats are in my room scratching. So I'm like, okay, well, now that I'm up and I'm looking, let me see where the cats are. Let me open all the windows for them. So I got out of bed, and Splash and Simba were both in the living room on cat towers. And so I opened all the windows in the house. I went back to bed, and I'm just about to take a shower. So I'm walking down the hall to my bedroom, and I pass Boo's room. The door's open, the window's open, and I see a cat sitting by the window. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's great that they're enjoying the open window. But then I decide to look and see who it is. So I turn around and I walk back to Boo's room, and there's nobody there. None of the cats are in Boo's room. Simba's here, Splash is under my bed. So it seems like maybe Boo is visiting us today. Stella's visiting us. I don't know who it is. No idea. But it's just really weird that first I hear the scratching in my bedroom. None of the cats are in the room. And now I walk past Boo's room, see a cat by the window, go back to see who it is, and they're not there. And neither Splash or Simba are in that room. It's kind of freaky. Yesterday I went to Whole Foods and look what Simba got. Simba got some fresh cat grass. Even though I'm growing cat grass, we always like to have some fresh cat grass, right, Simba? And when I bought this yesterday, it was like half the size. It grows so fast. Simba wants me to pluck a few pieces and feed it to him, but I'm still getting ready for my day. Okay, Simba, you want one anyway? Here. Ready? Let's see if we could do this. Here's a little piece. They're not that big. Okay, eat your piece. You want another piece? Eat your piece. Okay, want another piece? I try to get the big pieces for him. Because it's still growing. Simba loves this, right, Simba? Oops. Oopsies. Here we go. Yeah. You don't want it? Oh, he's smelling my hand. I just got out of the shower. Simba's very sensitive to soap and odors, but I used the Zumbar that Stella loves so much, the frankincense and myrrh some soap. Good job, Simba. Good job. This is the cat pool and floating toy set from Five Below. Here's Simba. Simba says he's going to check it out. I thought it was going to be bigger than this, but it's like really small. It comes in this little box. It says it comes with 3 floating toys, and these are the 3 floating toys. And what you're supposed to do is put water in here and then let the cats play with it. And so that's what I'm going to do. I hope this actually holds water. I'm going to get a towel to put underneath it. I'm not going to put too much water in it. Over here it looks like they only put a little bit of water in, maybe like an inch of water. So we'll see if Simba likes it. Okay, I have a pitcher of water. I think I have like 2 quarts. Okay, Simba just ran away. We'll put the floating toys in. Okay, so that's 2 quarts of water. And I have this waterproof blanket that I put underneath it. Simba just walked back in the room. He's checking it out. He said he'd rather have some cat grass. Splashes on the scratch and roll. This is something that the cats are probably not going to take to right away, but maybe eventually they'll play with. So I'm just going to leave it here. There's Nancy. She just came upstairs. Is she going to play with it? No. There's Ziggy. It is now 8:45 p.m. and nobody wants to play with this little pool with the toys in it. I even put one of Simba's balls in it. It's this ball. It's not actually a pom-pom. I don't know. It's almost like a foam material. Even Simba doesn't care about it. The Lucky 7 were upstairs today. They didn't care about it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain the pool, empty it out, dry it out, and then I was going to donate it. Unless Simba's going to decide that he wants to play with it. You want to play? Here, the ball. Ready? When Simba and Splash were kittens, I had a large plastic storage container full of water outside. It was like a water station for them. And they used to love playing with it. I used to have little toys in there for them. They used to love playing with it. But I guess they've gotten smarter as they've gotten older. I just dumped out all of the water, and I just realized that I think Sammy might like using it as a cat bed. Like, she might like sitting in it because she's small enough to fit. Probably Ziggy also would be small enough to fit in there. So I don't know. I'll just leave it here without any water in it and see if they end up using it. It is 10:37 p.m. and I'm just about to go to bed. And we're looking at the corner of the bed where Stella used to sleep. And right here on the bed, that's where Boo loved to sleep. I just wanted to document the fact that, like, I am really missing Boo lately. I went out for a little while today, and I just happened to be in a few stores, and I noticed that they're starting to put the Halloween stuff in the stores. Like, right now it's the middle of the summer, but they're already putting Halloween stuff in the stores. And of course, with all the Halloween decorations, there's black cats, and a lot of them say boo. Oh, here's Simba. Hey, Simba. Hello, Simba. I really didn't want to talk about this in front of Splash and Simba, but Simba came to join me. So, what I was saying was that in the stores, like, all the Halloween stuff is in, and it's a lot of black cats, and then there's decorations that say boo. Some even say boo with a black cat, and it's so hard. And I always used to call the few months leading up to Halloween Black Cat season, because that's when all the stores would have all the black cat decorations. And it was always like a celebration of Boo. And this is the first year that he's not here for that celebration. And I just keep thinking of how much I miss him. And then, of course, I keep having flashbacks to when he was in the animal hospital and the day that he was put down. And, of course, I keep thinking, well, what could have been done differently? How could things have been done differently? And I have not posted the announcement of his passing yet, but that's coming up real soon. That's probably coming up within a week or two of posting vlogs. And I don't even know how I'm going to do that yet. With Stella's passing, the day she passed, I wrote the script and I knew exactly what I wanted to say. And with Boo's passing, like, it was all such a blur as far as, like, what I was filming, what I wasn't filming, what I was saying, what I wasn't saying. I don't know. Like, my thinking was just on him. I wasn't really concerned with the vlog. I don't even know what I said. And with Boo's passing, it's just very different. I haven't put a script for that together. I don't know what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. I guess I'm just going to have to see what was recorded for the vlogs, what I recorded, what I said, what I documented, and take it from there. It's just been really difficult today. It's about 7:15 a.m. Here's Simba. He just used the litter box, and I put him on this cat tower, which is the cat scale, and guess what? Oh my gosh. We are at 18 pounds and 15 ounces. This is the first time we're in the 18s. So we are 2 ounces down from his last weigh-in. So let's see if we can sustain this for the next several days until his next official weigh-in. What happened yesterday is Splash and Simba had their breakfast, but then they did not want to eat their lunch, like their snack for lunch. Neither of them liked it. It was a can of Tasteful's flaked chicken. I just am in the process of trying new canned food with them just to see what they'll like. They didn't like it, so no one really ate it. Maybe they took 2 bites of it. And then Simba had a few dried sardines. And then they had their normal dinner. And then they had a crunchy mouse, which is just some crunchies in the mouse toy. And then they had some freeze-dried treats early this morning, like 4 a.m. in the automatic feeder. And a little while ago, like 20 minutes ago, Simba jumped on my bed and he was like poking me, which means he's hungry, he wants a snack. So I was thinking to myself, okay, if he's hungry enough to be poking me, and if he didn't eat his lunch yesterday, I wonder if he's gone down on the scale. And he has. Oh my gosh. Simba, good job, Simba. We're moving in the right direction. Simba. Good boy. Let me get your treat, okay? Simba just ate a squeeze up with some freeze-dried chicken on top of it. And look at this. Now he's 19 pounds and 2 ounces. So somehow he gained 3 ounces from eating a squeeze up with some freeze-dried chicken. Now the freeze-dried chicken weighs a fraction of an ounce, and the squeeze up weighs half of an ounce. So Simba just ate half of an ounce, but according to the scale, he gained 3 ounces. I don't know how accurate the scale is. It's 8:45 a.m. and here's Simba. How you doing, Simba? And there's Sammy. Sammy's watching birds from the top of the cat tower. And Simba was just letting Sammy know not to bother him. She just walked out of the room. Simba, you gotta get brushed. Time to get brushed, Simba. It is 1 p.m. Let me tell you what just happened. So I'm trying to organize things in my kitchen. I'm going through my kitchen cabinets, trying to throw out stuff that's old and just reorganize things. And I'm going through a bunch of the cat food that I have. I feel like I have cat food all over my kitchen. So I came across this bag of Hill's Prescription Diet Kidney Care cat food. This I got from the animal hospital for Boo. You have to get it with a prescription. And I don't know if he even ate it. I probably tried giving it to him and he didn't want it because he really didn't want to eat much. So what I was doing is I was looking this up online because I'm trying to keep a list, like a database of all of the dry cat food brands that the cats eat, what all the ingredients are, stuff like that. So I looked this up. I looked this up on the Hills website and I just came across this product review. It says, this product was one of the products recommended to me for my cat who developed quick and severe renal failure after undergoing anesthesia for a dental cleaning and extraction. We did all of the blood work and ECG to ensure she was healthy enough to undergo the procedure, but she still had a bad reaction to it, so we found ourselves having to switch her diet to a kidney-friendly diet and give her subcutaneous fluids every other day so far. She will not touch this or the wet food version no matter what flavor I buy. And given it seems like I can only purchase these in large quantities online or at a pet store with prescription, I cannot try them out first, and now it has been so much money between the vet visits and the prescription diet food that even my other cats won't touch. I don't willingly give it to them, but they even snub their nose at it when walking by my other kitty's dish, which they never do. I would also do anything for my kitties. It is just very disappointing that the flavor or whatever is in this is not desirable by my medically needy kitty. I also cannot find a label on the package or online that lists the protein and phosphorus levels. Weird. So I just came across this review while looking at the reviews. The reason why I was looking at the reviews, because this product has really bad reviews. And now I've always had it in the back of my mind that Boo's kidneys failed because of his dental procedure, because he was fine before the dental procedure. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, he's in stage 4 kidney failure. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe we live in a world of cause and effect. Science has proven that. Therefore, I honestly believe that the anesthesia he received during his dental procedure injured his kidneys. So from here, I found this website, VCA Animal Hospitals. Here it says, other rare complications of anesthesia include organ system failure, such as kidney, liver, or heart failure, visual impairment, clotting disorders, and seizures. Your veterinarian will take every precaution to minimize these risks during your cat's anesthesia. Only when the benefits outweigh the risks will they perform anesthesia on your cat. So it clearly says organ system failure, such as kidney, liver, or heart failure, are complications of anesthesia. It then goes on to say, in addition, studies have shown that 0.9% to 2% of all patients that receive general anesthesia will develop kidney dysfunction or failure 7 to 14 days after anesthesia. The risk is significantly reduced in patients that receive intravenous fluid therapy during their surgery. Although 98% of all patients will have no problem, so they're basically saying that 2% of the patients, 2 out of every 100, will develop kidney dysfunction or kidney failure 7 to 14 days after anesthesia. Your veterinarian's goal is to eliminate that unknown 2%. For these reasons, all general anesthesia patients should receive intravenous catheterization and fluid therapy. So now what I have to do tomorrow is contact the animal hospital where Boo had his dental procedure and get his full medical records to make sure that they gave him intravenous catheterization and fluid therapy during his procedure. The fact that nobody tells you this when you have a pet put under anesthesia is ridiculous. Anytime a cat is put under anesthesia, every vet should tell every pet parent that 2% of all patients will develop kidney dysfunction or failure 7 to 14 days after the anesthesia. Nobody told me that. None of the vets that I went to ever told me that. They never mentioned that. That is absolutely ridiculous, because what that means is, as a cat parent, if you have a cat that undergoes anesthesia for the next 2 weeks or even more, I would say for the next 4 weeks, you have to be extremely vigilant over the slightest thing that could be a sign of any kind of kidney dysfunction or kidney failure. I fully believe that Boo developed kidney dysfunction after his anesthesia, and his kidneys continued to deteriorate over the next 6 months until they got so bad that he refused to eat. And I took him to the doctor for another blood test, and that's when it was found that he was in stage 4 kidney disease. From now on, anytime you have a cat that undergoes anesthesia, make sure they go back for a follow-up blood tests 2 to 4 weeks after their anesthesia. Even if they're acting normal, even if they're eating normal, take them back for a follow-up blood test. Make sure their kidneys and their organs are functioning properly. It's about 7:30 a.m. and this is the scale that I have underneath the cat tower. Except this scale is now turned upside down because I didn't realize that it's not a flat surface. I did not realize that things could get underneath the scale. I found 2 pom-poms under the scale. I found crunchies under the scale. I found all kinds of things under the scale. I don't know how they got under there. So I just vacuumed the floor here. And I'm going to put the scale back, and hopefully it'll be more accurate, because I was trying to weigh Simba today and the values kept changing. This is what the scale looks like. It's actually like a large package scale, like a large postage scale. But, I realized, wait a minute, this could fit perfectly under a cat tower, and it does. I just put the cat tower on the scale. And the cat tower weighs 24 pounds and 12 ounces. Now I'm going to press the tare button, which will then take the scale back to 0. And now I'm going to put Simba on it and see what it tells me. Simba is sitting on the scale and it says 19 pounds, 2 ounces. And if I wiggle the cat tower with Simba on it, it says 19 pounds, 4 ounces. But what I did this morning to verify Simba's weight was I got on a scale and I wrote down what I weighed. Then I picked Simba up and I stepped on the scale while I was holding him and I wrote down that weight. And then I calculated that. And that calculation is 19 pounds even. I'm going to stick with that calculation right now. It's about 10:30 a.m. and this is the cat pool from Five Below. Nobody wanted to play with it. Nobody wanted to play with it with water in it, and nobody wants to use it without water in it. So, hey Ziggy. Hey Ziggy. So I am going to pack it up and pass it on. It's 11:43 p.m. and something really weird is going on. You see this door to the garage? It's open. I just shut it. So I just went for a bike ride. I did 3 miles. I just wanted to do a really quick bike ride. And I came inside. And here's Sammy. So I've been sitting at the kitchen table. Sammy jumped on the chair next to me. I've been petting her. And I've been drinking some water. And I heard something outside. And I thought it was one of my neighbors. It sounded like they were, I don't know if they were like opening a door or like moving around recycling, because we recycle bottles and cans here, and one of my neighbors, actually the guy that died not too long ago, used to always recycle a lot of bottles and cans. So when I heard the noise, I was like, oh, someone else might be doing it now in that yard. And that's what I thought it was. I thought like one of my neighbors was doing something. And then I just looked outside and I saw this. So somehow my garage door opened. And there's no wind today. No wind at all. You can see the trees. Other than a slight breeze in areas, there's no wind. So I just shut the door. You could see it's not something that you can easily open. It's just so weird. It is 1:32 p.m. and I'm sitting at the kitchen table working on my computer. I'm feeling like I'm so productive today. Then all of a sudden I heard a cat vomiting. And I was like, oh no, who is it? So I walk through the house, nobody's moving, and I look into this room and I see Simba sitting up on top of the bed, looking like he's just puked. So let me show you what happened. Simba vomited his breakfast on this beautiful quilt from Sharon, and he vomited the rest on the vomit blanket. So I'm really happy about that. This came really close to being off of the vomit blanket. So I love these vomit blankets from Sharon. Last week, Splash threw up a hairball on the other vomit blanket. Then I put this one on. And today, Simba threw up his breakfast. I don't know why he threw up his breakfast. Maybe he has a hairball also, but he's been doing really good. He has not been throwing up at all. So what happened, Simba? Simba, what happened? Was it a hairball or was it the rabbit? Simba, tell me, was it the hairball or was it the rabbit? Which one was it, Simba? Look at me, Simba. Simba, was it the hairball or was it the rabbit? Which one was it, the hairball or the rabbit? What made you throw up? The hairball or the rabbit? Blink your eyes, let me know. Blink. Blink if it's the hairball. Blink if it's the rabbit. It's neither. It was not the hairball or the rabbit. And look at Simba. He's just lounging on the bed like, whatever, who cares? Yeah, I threw up on the bed. What are you going to do about it? It is 8 a.m. I just came downstairs and saw this. This is what Sammy does, and this is what Sammy did. She knocked down this big container of Temptations, and look, there's hardly any left. Somebody has been feasting on these Temptations. Look at this. This is all that's left. The container was filled up to here. Somebody ate almost this entire container. Let me tell you how I know it's Sammy. Because what happens is every day for the past several days, when I comb and brush the cats, Sammy likes to knock this off of the table. This is a little round coffee table that I have down here, and the Temptations box is on top of it. And I'll be brushing and combing the cats, and all of a sudden she'll knock this down. So what I've been doing recently is when I get the brush and the comb, I take this with me and I'll put it down here so she can't knock it over. And then when they get brushed and combed, then they get a few of these treats. Well, I guess Sammy took it upon herself to knock it off of the table and eat all the treats. I don't know if she ate all the treats or Goldie ate all the treats. I don't know who ate all the treats. Ziggy, did you have some of the treats? I don't know where anyone else is. Oh, I think that's Nancy up there. I don't know where anyone else is. I'm going to have to check the security camera footage to find out when she did this and who ate the treats. I just checked the security camera and it was Sammy. And it happened about 12:15 a.m., so just after midnight. She knocked it off of the table, and from what I could tell, many of the other cats came by to eat some. So I don't know why, because they had their dinner. They had 2 crunchy snacks last night. So I guess Sammy was just in a mood to do something like that. How you doing, Simba? Good morning, Simba. Simba had a squeeze-up treat today with his Cosequin. How you feeling, Simba? Okay? Splash was howling quite a bit last night, so I had to wake up and give him pets and make sure he's okay and give them some toys. It's 8 p.m. Here's Richard and Nancy. And I've been working all afternoon, and I just finished for now. And I can't help thinking about Stella, because on a day like this where I've just been, really focused all afternoon, she would always come up to me and like gently put her paw on me, and she'd be like, okay, it's time to finish working now. And she was always so happy and so kind and so gentle when she did that. Like, she was just such a sweet girl. When I compare that to Nancy or Sammy and the way they approach me with something like that, it's complete opposite. Like, they're whiny and demanding and just completely unlike Stella. Like, Stella had manners and grace and etiquette, for a cat. And Nancy and Sammy are just really more like Hydrox, like how Hydrox used to be like bossy outside and just kind of demanding at times. That's how they are. They're never gentle and sweet when they want something. They never just, politely tap me. Stella would just politely tap me and be like, okay, it's time to stop working right now. We need to have our dinner. Hey, Ziggy, how are you? Now, Ziggy is the sweet one. Ziggy is the girly girl of the bunch, right, Ziggy? Although Ziggy has never tapped me and told me to stop working, but if I'm sitting on the sofa, either up here or downstairs, sometimes she will jump up next to me and not really tap me, but just kind of sit next to me for a while. How you doing, Richie? Good boy. Good boy, Richie. How you doing, Nancy? Good girl? Good girl, Nancy? You a good girl? Are you a good girl, Nancy? How are you? How are you, Nancy? You a good girl? Were you a good girl today? You itchy? Now, they were combed today. They get brushed and combed. I've not found any fleas on them yet. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we can make it through the rest of the summer without any fleas. Hello, little Nancy. Hello, little Nancy. Hello, little Nancy. How are you, little Nancy? So all of the Lucky 7 had 3 drops of CBD oil in their breakfast today. I do that just to kind of take the edge off of them sometimes, and hopefully they're not going to attack Splash and Simba out of anxiety, although Splash and Simba were in my room today. It is weigh day for Simba, and I put him on the scale this morning, and he's at 19 pounds and 1 ounce. 19 pounds and 1 ounce. And that means it's the same as he was last week. I just weighed Simba on my other scale, the kind where I have to pick Simba up and step on the scale. And on that one, he weighs 18.8 pounds. So we're doing good, Simba, right? You doing good? Good job. Good job. Let me give you a snack. It's 2:30 p.m. Look at what's going on here. I have 6 of the Lucky 7, and they're eating snack cups. This is what I put together for them. It's basically a little cupcake wrapper with some treats for them. Because Simba and Splash have been getting lunch, because they have only been getting half of a breakfast, and then they get the other half of their breakfast at lunchtime. So these guys keep looking at me like, well, where's our snack? So today I was like, okay, I'll give you guys little snack cups, and Sammy's already looking for someone else's. It's just a little afternoon treat. And today's the first day I put it in a little cup for them and gave it to them like this. They all like it. I just have to find little Eva and give her hers. I believe she's downstairs. So it would be nice if I could give them like a little bit of wet food or like a squeeze up or something, although they had squeeze ups this morning. But I can't do that in these little paper cups. But if I go to Daiso and I get the little ceramic ones, then I could do that, but then I have to make sure I have room in the dishwasher for those. Well, anyway, this is just an experiment, and so far, they're all enjoying it. Ziggy and Goldie are looking around like, where's more? Richard's a slow eater. It's about 9:15 a.m. And there goes Sammy. But that's Ringo and Richard. They're hanging out by the open window in Boo's room. Cousin Oliver's outside. He just had some breakfast. He had the leftover canned food that the Lucky Seven did not want to eat for breakfast yesterday. I put it in a little storage container. It stays in the refrigerator overnight. And then he gets it for breakfast. And he enjoyed it. He cleaned his plate. Here's Goldie. And what I decided yesterday is that the Lucky Seven need to be on the same kind of crunchy control that Splash and Simba have been on. So Splash and Simba have been on like super regimented portions. And with the Lucky Seven, what happens is at night, like Nancy pesters me because she wants some crunchies. Sometimes Ziggy does. And what happens is I'll put some food out for them, like I'll put a little crunchies on each plate. But if I don't watch to see who's eating what, then certain cats, like Goldie, for example, will eat more portions than other cats will. So what I decided yesterday is that unless they are near a plate and ready to eat some crunchies, they're not getting any. Like I'm not going to leave extra servings out anymore. And it worked well yesterday. And everyone ate their breakfast today. And so I'm going to try to implement that moving forward. Like, obviously, if they're eating out of the automatic feeder, then I really can't control what's going on there. But whenever I'm here, then they're not getting just whatever crunchies they want anymore. They're just getting a serving, like a tablespoon of crunchies if they're near a plate and they want it. It's 9:15 a.m. here, Simba. Hello, Simba. Simba and Splash had their breakfast, and I already gave breakfast to the Lucky Seven, even though they didn't really eat their breakfast. All of the automatic feeders are set up for Splash, Simba, and the Lucky Seven. That's probably why the Lucky Seven did not want to eat their breakfast, because they know there's crunchies in their feeders, and cats are smart like that. And they're so smart that they're not even trying to come upstairs today. Like they know when the automatic feeders are set up that they stay downstairs. And so that's what hopefully will be going on the rest of the day today, possibly even tomorrow. I know I'm going to be gone all day today. Potentially it might be an overnight trip. So everyone is set up for that. But if I decide to come back tonight, that's fine also. I'll be checking in on the cats on all the cameras. All the cameras are set up. I set up everything. So hopefully it'll just be a beautiful day. Everyone will rest and relax and everything will be good. Today, this morning, there's been a squirrel on the patio and the cats have been having a lot of fun watching the squirrel. Especially Sammy. But I wanted to show you what I have on this doorknob here. So I bought this, it's like a child-proofing thing for a doorknob. And what you do is you put it on the doorknob and then, supposedly if a cat tries to, move the doorknob, they're not going to be able to. However, for an adult, what we have to do is we have to put our fingers in the holes, grab the doorknob and twist. It's a little bit tricky, but it does work. And here's Sammy. She better not get any ideas. Hopefully it'll keep the Lucky Seven from coming upstairs while I'm away. That's the whole goal. Like, I don't want them coming upstairs because if they do, then they're going to eat all of Splash and Simba's food and it's just not going to be fair to Splash and Simba. So that's the situation. It's 9:03 a.m. and here's Cousin Oliver, aka Ox. He's hanging out on a patio chair. And I have been away for the past few days, so I haven't been feeding him. I was away all day yesterday, didn't get home until late at night, and he wasn't around, so I didn't give him any food. And the day prior to that, I looked for him in the morning, but he wasn't around, so he didn't have any food either. So hopefully he went somewhere else and someone else fed him. But, you know, he's a hunter, so he could have hunted some prey also. But I decided to check on him this morning and see if he was around. He is. So I'm going to put some food out for him. How you doing, buddy? Hello. How are you? You okay? I just gave him some food. He's having some canned food from the refrigerator with additional water mixed in and also some dry food on top. Let me show you what I got at Home Goods yesterday. So this is a box of Churu cat treats. It is 100 tubes. This is chicken recipe, chicken with scallop recipe, chicken with cheese recipe, and chicken with crab flavor recipe. You get 25 of each of those flavors. And the price on this was $29.99, which is a great deal. So that means each individual tube is only about 30 cents. And I know at like the local supermarkets, they sell a package of 20 tubes for $9.99. So that means each tube is about 50 cents. And if you go to local pet stores, a lot of times they'll sell a package of 4 for like $3.99, which means each tube is like $1. So this is probably the cheapest I've ever seen these being sold per tube, which is 30 cents, which to me is a much more reasonable price than $1 a tube, which I think is a ripoff. 50 cents a tube, I even think that's a bit high, because you're only getting like a half ounce of, you know, cat treat per tube. So 30 cents, I think that's a good deal. This is something else that I bought the cats yesterday. I got this at a PetSmart that I was in. This is a really large water bowl for dogs, for big dogs. I like the fact that it is like, it's like enameled stainless steel, I believe, which is nice. These are the other 2 stainless steel water bowls that I've been using for the Lucky 7. So they have this like gravity water bowl, which is great. And I dump the water out every day just to refresh it. And then when the tank is empty, I just refill the tank. And then I have these 2, which I refill and refresh on a daily basis. But this larger bowl is like the size of these 2 combined. So I thought it would be more convenient to only have to deal with 1 water bowl versus the 2 of those. And I'm going to see how the cats like this. I also like the fact that it's not the shiny stainless steel, because I have noticed that the cats don't always like shiny stainless steel. So, how you doing, Sammy? You okay? She's really checking it out. So yeah, I got this for the cats also. The other thing that I got for the Lucky 7 is this new cardboard scratcher. And I got this at Five Below because they have the best prices on these cardboard scratchers. They're only $5.55 and they're like a nice size. Actually, Home Goods has the best price on these cardboard scratchers. They sell like 3 for $14.99. But the problem is the ones that they sold were all Halloween themed. And I didn't want that. I just wanted plain ones. So that's why I went to Five Below, and they have them, you know, for like 55 cents more, 56 cents more. That's fine. And so I picked up one of these for down here because Ziggy vomited on the last one. So I had to throw it out. And now they have a fresh one, and I bought an extra one, which I put up in the closet in Boo's room, just in case I need to replace this one for whatever reason right away. And so, yeah, as you can see, Ziggy's really happy to have it back. So is little Eva. She uses it a lot. And the other cats all use it also. They like using these flat scratchers. I mean, they also like using vertical scratchers, but they really like these cardboard flat ones. Right, Ziggy? You love your scratcher? You love your scratcher, Ziggy? Ziggy, do you love your scratcher? It's about 9:30 a.m. and here's Nancy. This is her new favorite spot to eat her breakfast, which is on top of the steps. I think eating on the steps is like a power thing with the cats, or like a hierarchy thing with the cats, because notice Nancy's on top. And here's Sammy, she's eating on this step. There's Richard, here's Ziggy, and all the other cats are eating on the floor. When I think back to when the OG4 ate their meals down here, that was Stella, Boo, Splash, and Simba. Boo always ate his meal on the steps. This is where Boo loved to eat his meal. Like, he was always a few steps up above the other cats. And at the time, I remember thinking that it was like a power issue with Boo. Like, he's exerting his alphaness on the cat hierarchy by eating on the steps. And I think this just confirms it. But here's Nancy taking it to a complete extreme, saying, well, I want to eat way up here. And what Nancy will then do is she won't eat all of her food. She'll save some of it. And then I have to just pick up the plate because I'm not going to like leave it here in the middle of traffic. And I'll put it in the kitchen. And then sometimes she wants to finish it upstairs. I guess she wants to be part of the, OG4 group with Splash and Simba, which is now down to like OG2 because Boo and Stella are no longer here. Hello, Eva. Did you enjoy your breakfast? Eva, did you like your breakfast? Eva's a very good eater. She usually loves her meals. And sometimes she loves them so much she'll eat what's on other people's plates. This is Nancy's plate. This is Sammy's plate. As you can see, they did not finish their food. They got 3 types of canned food today. They get a very little amount because I opened a 5.5 ounce can and I split it 7 ways. And most likely they didn't want to finish their food because they ate a lot of crunchies over the past 2 days. Right? And they got to get themselves back on their normal schedule routine. Okay, you want to go upstairs? Okay, let's go upstairs. You want to go upstairs, Nancy? Okay, ready? Ready? I'm going to open the door. She's going to run. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.